So, welcome to Precious in It TV. As usual, it's always a delight to be with you. So, very quickly, I thought to have us just drop our thoughts on this whole thing happening in River State, especially that of, the recent court judgment by the courts, in reaction to Martins Amehula and his team, that is the 27 lawmakers that are taken to court to perhaps, but the court judgment that is saying that made a stop River State allocation to River State, basically, or the state allocation to River State, because the governor of the state had stubbornly, vehemently refused to introduce the budget to them or re-present the budget to the 27 lawmakers, whom they see or whom is claiming to be the legitimate lawmakers of River State. These are very interesting and wonderful times. So I made a few calls from my fellow colleagues in River State, and I contacted a few lawyers in River State, and a lot of them said that the pulse in River State is low, that people are just worried, and especially the workers are worried and wondering, so how will they get their salaries? How will salaries come? What is going to happen? You understand? So thank you, Tracy. I see you, Tracy Jacobin. Tracy, I love you, right? I don't even know if you're a man or a woman, but I love you because I see the buzzbuzz you give to me and appreciate you. Thank you for the notification. So yeah, I spoke to a few lawyers and they had a lot to tell me. I wish we have more people come on this live so that I can play the voice conversation between the lawyers and I, so that we can look at the perspective. Now, one of the lawyers I spoke with sees the court judgment as more like a judgment against the state, not against Fubara. Because stopping allocation to the state is like stifling the state. It's like saying that we won't choke the state. We won't make sure, say, all of our hearing. That is what it is like. Because stopping allocation to the state would entail that court judgments. Oh, woman, love you too, girl. Thank you so much. I love you, Tracy. So it means that hospitals will not work. Salaries cannot be paid. Teachers cannot be paid. Civil servants will not be paid at this very hard time. So is this still all in the name of showing Fubara a lesson? Or is there more to this? Or like, okay, since you don't want to play game now, we go show you Pepe. Now, a lot of people are trying to relate this to perhaps what President Bola Ahmed Tinubu went through with former President Olusegun Obasanjo when he was the governor of Lagos State by stopping. But that was stopping of local government allocations. And that was because the governor then, now president, got local governments, these LCDAs, created new local government that the presidency said, no, this cannot stand. These are not local governments. So since you want them to exist, I'm not going to give you allocation. Till today, I can tell you with authority from findings that the local government allocation, out of the 20 local governments you have in Lagos State and the other LCDAs in Lagos State, the LCDAs don't get allocation from federal government. So it's only the local governments that get allocation from the federal government. That is FAC allocation. Now, what happens is that these states get the local government take whether 40 or 60% of the allocation, and then they give the rest to the different LCDAs under them. But is that even enough to want to choke and stifle a whole state because you think that you are doing one man or you have problem with one man? Because hospitals will not see. Children cannot take immunization. People don't understand the implication of this thing. Children cannot take immunization. Children who may want to go to from next month ending, who may want to go to the hospital for immunization, there will be no immunizations for them. Doctors will not work because salaries of doctors working under the state cannot be paid because there is no allocation. I have never heard in the history of Nigeria, under whatever political dispute, that a state's allocation is stopped because of interest, political interest. This is the first time I am hearing this kind of thing, at least happening to this magnitude. As I said, a lot of people want to compare this to what happened to Bola Ahmed Tinubu in Lagos State. No, that of Bola Ahmed Tinubu was local government allocation and not state allocation. Local government allocation. Do you know what it means? It even means that if there are contracts to be built right now, contracts that are waiting for allocation for them to disburse payment to them, those contracts will not happen. Those contracts will not take place. If there are other security things and concerns that should be catered for, those will not happen. Now, do you get to suffer an entire state because you want to show one man a lesson for being stubborn to you. And if CBN is to go ahead with this, or the presidency is to give the CBN the nod, the go ahead to go on and seize the allocation of Rivers State, oh wow, it will be interesting. So it's tantamount to the federal government starving the people, the entire people of Rivers State, because of the interest of a particular person. Because if Wike's interest is not in the way, all this will not be happening. So it's like starving the entire state because of the interest of one man. Now let's even look at it formally. Normally I would have said, oh, it's okay, so it can happen. After all states in Nigeria can be independent. But if all states are independent, why shouldn't states, if we're running a true federal system of government, Rivers State should have been able to at least manage its own resources, meaning that the oil in Rivers State would have been managed by people of Rivers State by themselves. So at least we won't be having this conversation. Let me quickly see if I can play that soundbite from the lawyer that I spoke with, and let's get to share his thoughts on this.
Okay, you shouldn't grant interviews.
We should interviews until we get the approval.
Is if there's a possibility of Fubara moving on without an allocation like the president did, Tinubu did during
Tinubu was never
Obasanjo's
tenure. Tinubu was never, no allocation was stopped for Lagos State. It was local government allocation that was stopped from Lagos State.
He's reiterating what I just said now, that it was local government allocation that was stopped in Lagos State and not the state allocation that was stopped during Tinubu's tenure. He's reiterating that.
The allocation to local government and allocation to the state.
Yes, but this one is state allocation that they're stopping.
This one, what I'm reading on the headlines and all our state allocation. Because the reason is not about local government.
Yes, it's because of the legislatures.
Yes, the case of Lagos then was about local government.
Yes.
Local government allocation.
Yes, because of those LCDs.
Yes. That local government allocation was non-recognition of the other
LCDs that he created. Yes.
I am not sure that it has happened in this country ever for a court to order that allocation to a state. That means you're almost counting a state. In Nigeria, so I'm not sure this has happened.
But is it
that's why we're looking at this seriously.
Okay, but is it even okay for the court to grant that, to give that order without hearing the case that is to decide whether or not the 27 lawmakers continue to be lawmakers?
So those are the issues. Those are the very serious issues, my sister. You can imagine that they have not taken a clear position with respect to.
Okay, so just before I continue, let me quickly take a pause there, just to remind you, until date, the courts are yet to hear the case, or the court is yet to hear the case that will determine if the 27 lawmakers haven't decamped from PDP to APC, if they continue to be lawmakers in Rivers State. If they continue, because normally there is a subsisting order by the Supreme Court that says that if you just leave your party jejely and go to another political party, then you go relinquish that position where you say that position, that seat where you say that party where you live bring you into. So the court, I don't know if cleverly so, the court has deliberately not heard those cases. Remember that among all these suits coming up in Rivers State and all these cases coming up in Rivers State, the court has not heard that case at all. The case of whether or not the 27 lawmakers having left PDP without showing proof that PDP has serious internal crisis and serious division, having left PDP without such proof that they continue to be lawmakers in Rivers State. But why would the court be in such a hurry, rather, to hear the case that would now determine that they would no longer send allocation, or the CBN should stop allocation to the states? These are questions everyone is asking. By the way, this is your first time of joining my channel, kindly click on the subscription button. I beg of you, click on the subscription button, click, and I'd love to take your thoughts on these. I'll be giving out phone numbers. Let's get to know, let's get to share your thoughts and reactions. I'd like you to call me in to tell me your thoughts on this conversation, but let's just continue to hear the lawyer.
So what I say that 27 lawmakers, they're just I don't. So that's what it is. But you know what? The fundamental thing is we just happen to say, let's see what will happen. Sometimes when decisions are made like this, there could also be some political interference or intervention.
No, okay.
Because if the president and they say, oh, we want to be court order, so federation accounts allocation committee should not allocate money for River State, or when allocated should not distribute to River State. No problem. We'll find a way about it. Let the crisis continue. Let it get deep that the whole country will see that the entire state and the federal government against River State. For some of us begin to be interested and let these kind of things happen.
Okay.
Because it's not about sin. This particular one is not about sin, it's about the entire River State.
Yes.
But including this little child that was crying.
Yes.
Because if this child was to be taken for immunization tomorrow in a primary health center,
They will not be able to attend to the child.
they will not be able to attend in a short time from now. There may not be facility materials, drugs, and all of that in health center.
All right. Okay, so you heard what the lawyer said. That is to say that this is like a battle between the states, or between whoever it is that is engineering this and an entire state. If the precedent is to let this fly and let this happen, denying the state, we do know that most states have never lacked allocation from the federal government. This is going to be the first time that this will happen. But I also did call a few other persons, a fellow journalists in River State, to feel their pulse on what's happening. So I wanted to know exactly how people feel about this.
Especially those who feel that salaries will not be coming again to them. And then supporters of the government feeling that their wings are not cut off. So I think majority of the people are apprehensive. They don't know what the after effect of this pronouncement by the Court of Justice Abdul Malik. So it's just it needs proper interpretation. Tomorrow I'll feel the pulse of lawyers.
Okay, so you heard that. So people, there is a bit of apprehension in River State. People are worried and thinking that wait a minute, does it mean that our salaries will not be paid moving forward? And if that is the case, then where then lies the faith of workers in River State? How will they survive? How are they going to feed their children? If it is any other time, it would have been good. But at this time that we have severe pain, like more like a thorough T-pain regime or thorough T-pain economy. Okay, so how are people going to cope? That's the problem. By the way, you can call me up. Please call up. Let's see if I can post that number so that you can call up. I like to take call on WhatsApp alone. I like to take your thoughts and reaction on the conversation that I have right now. So let me put up the number so that you can try to reach us if you would like to share your thoughts and reaction on the conversation. The number is what now? The number is 081-0817. Yes, 0817 029 4077. Please kindly call. I'm trying to post it and I'll see if I can pin it on the group. So if you see that, please do well to, it's already pinned on the message. So please do well to share your thoughts and reactions. Let's know how you feel. Call us up, share your thoughts and reactions. Let's get to know your thoughts and reactions, how you feel about this conversation. So this is like the precedent, or people going to court to fight an entire state. Why? Okay, so the lawmakers went to court. Who made out of this? The lawmakers lawyer to Wike went to court to ask that the governor represents the 2024 budget to them. Now remember that this budget of 2024 that are seeking for to be represented, the budget is already almost gone. That court judgment was, I think, somewhere in October, early this month or late last month was when they got that court judgment. So if you got a court judgment to represent a budget sometime almost towards the beginning of the last quarter of the year, who is going to represent that judgment, or the end of the second quarter of the year? So the budget is already far spent. Recurring expenditures like salaries and all that were already almost done and dusted. So you ask that the budget be represented to you, and of course the governor told them that no, he can't represent the budget to them, and boom, they went to court to seek that, because they're the legitimate lawmakers, or that the other three people cannot be legitimate lawmakers because they can't form a quorum because they are not larger in number. So they should make them they should stop the allocation from the state. Now the question is, how do you fight an entire state, including your village people? Because some of them, these lawmakers, their grandfathers, their mothers, their aunties, their uncles, may be part of those who will be affected by this their selfish court judgment. How do you fight an entire state because you think you're fighting one man for your own selfish interest? That's the question. Phone lines are open. Let's get to take your thoughts. Hello, good evening.
Hello, Precious. Good evening.
Good evening, welcome. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Okay, I'm calling from Georgia. My name is Osura. So quickly, what I wanted to just say,
Okay.
it's just the topic you're trading right now. So
Yes, please.
let me be very honest with you, man. You see, I made a comment on your comment section. I don't know if you have seen it. You know, it might sound a little bit rude, but that's how I feel like commenting on that. You see, this little Hitler called Wike. That guy is just he's doing too much. This man was in PDP from PDP. I don't know if he has left PDP, but he's nice.
He's still in PDP, but serving for APC government.
But the question is that how the constitution is run over there? You can be in two parties at the same time. Is that the way the thing works?
Well, he said that he wrote to the PDP to tell them that, oh, this party wants to give him a position. So he wrote to them.
You see, let me be very honest with you. We're wasting our time in that useless country. I'm sorry I have to sound this way. We're just wasting our time.
I'm sorry you shouldn't sound that way too.
That country, no, but that's true though. But I mean, it's always good to speak the truth. You understand what I'm saying? I don't even understand the reason why Nigeria is still existing. Nigeria shouldn't exist, because if it was a normal country, this kind of shenanigan that is going on with this party, you are in all the way in Abuja, and you want to control what is going on in Port Harcourt. How greedy can you really be? How greedy can you really be? Why are you trying to? Why can't they catch that man and teach me a lesson for crying out loud?
But he says that he doesn't want his structure to be destroyed. That's his major grievance.
His terms, okay, ma'am, okay, his term is done. He has ruled 8 years. What else do he want? If they want to, after all, there are some governments. Okay, let me tell you something. When the new government comes into place, when new governments come into play, is being elected, what they do is they set up their own structures and everything. A new government will come in and destroy it. So what? Why would he say he wants his structure not to be destroyed? Wike is doing too much. That little Hitler, he's doing too much, and people are just looking at him and just tolerating his bullshit. All I'm just saying is that the governor should stand up. He's the one that is being elected. I don't even know why they're giving that man so much stress. Wike is doing too much. This man is so greedy. He thinks that Cross River belongs to him or what? He thinks that the state belongs to him?
It's River State. Thank you. I appreciate you. It's River State.
You think River State belongs to him? It doesn't belong to him. He has ruled 8 years and he stole so much money from River State's revenue or whatever it's called. And now he cannot concentrate where he is in Abuja. And now he's also putting his face, his mouth, everything in somebody's else. Man, listen. I don't know why they're letting this guy do this thing, man. It's just so frustrating. We have so much going on in that contraption. All we hear is wicked this, wicked that. And when the economy is dying every day, they should find a way to dismantle that's so-called Nigeria. Let it go their separate ways. If the country was a real organized country, this kind of nonsense will not happen. It's just because everything about that country is just corruption.
Thank you.
If you talk, they kill you. You don't talk, they'll kill you. If you start one, they kill you. Why is the country existing? Thank you, Joe.
Thank you. Apologies. I see that you're very angry. Thank you so much. Please subscribe to this platform. I appreciate you. Thank you so much. All right. Thank you so much. Phone lines are still open. Let's get to take your thoughts and reactions on the conversation concerning Wike. So as I told you, based on the pulse that I feel from people in River State that are on ground right now, they say there's a bit of apprehension. Workers are worried. So what happens next? Some of them are even disappointed that, that meanwhile, supporters of Wike are very happy, like very good for the governor, very good for the sitting governor. Let's teach him a lesson. Next time he will not bite the fingers that feed him, or that fed him rather. So I'd like to take your reaction on this. 0817 029 4077. That's the number to call. 0817 029 4077. Let me take some of your reactions already. Okay, so Tracy, I see you. Thank you so much. And you said that please like and share. Thanks. Please like and share. I appreciate you. Like most importantly, subscribe and share. Wike wants to be India Me of Uganda of River State. Dennis Ugu sent in that message. Samuel Osuraha David says, I don't know why Nigeria is still existing. That country needs to be dismantled. So much corruption and more corruption. I guess you're the one that just called me. Wike is untouchable. That's what Tracy says. And Tox Jones says Wike is untouchable because he is working for Tinubu. Oh wow! And he's a common tout working for Jagaban. And he said, to be honest, the people must rise up and fight. How do they fight? With hunger. Have you been to the market? Do you know the new recent thing that's happening? I mentioned it on my radio show yesterday, that people are now being kidnapped in broad daylight in Lagos State. That's the new thing. Lagos State, that is about the most peaceful state in town. People are now being kidnapped in Lagos State. Somebody sent a message to me, talked about on my show how somebody was kidnapped on their way from Mile 2 to Oshodi, and they were taken to Ikorodu. Somebody, a staff of mine, told me how the car in front of him, just in the afternoon when he was coming to work, another car double-crossed the car, kidnapped a man and a woman inside the car and took them to nowhere. In fact, the guy who sent the message said that he saw scores of people, dead bodies, even without head. So it is now like people, because now these are the kind of things that happen when there is hunger. Usually we do know that when there is such struggle for hunger and unemployment and all that, naturally hardship breeds insecurity, a lot of it, and that is where this is heading to. So how would you even tell people that the small job that they have, how will you revolt? That's the problem. So RLR says, Tokyo says, to be honest, people must rise up and fight. Yeah, RLR says, wearing glass and clothes, it's cultural appropriation. Cynthia O. Awagewe says, oh yeah, good evening, thank you so much. Niger Delta militants should get into action and destroy those pipelines so the Nigerian economy will be affected. They already gave a warning, and Asari Dokoboy is already shouting and screaming. So let's see how this plays out. And Talk says the Palestinians are fighting, why not Nigerians? Okay, I agree with you. If Palestinians can fight, why not Nigerians? But do you know that Nigerians who tried to protest were charged for treason? And not only were they charged for treason, when they were even tried to be given to get bail, they were giving bail of 500 million naira. Meanwhile, a House of Representative member who got a car of 160 million naira as part of his package that harassed a Bolt driver got a bail of 500,000 naira only. But those who protested for bad governance got 500 million naira in bail. So is that the kind of country you want to be coming out to protest? That is the problem. So there's a lot of fear. People are worried. People are scared. There is fear. So it's not like the people of River State ordinarily wouldn't want to revolt against a Wike or the other lawmakers who want to get this court injunction. But people are worried. You want to come out tomorrow and revolt, or to say you no go grill, or you carry a placard, and the next thing they take you up. Till today, see what is happening on Twitter. We don't even know who's the real PDOM anymore. We don't know if that Isaac Bristol is the real PDOM or not. That's what's going on. So a country where you're not guaranteed of your safety if you exercise your legitimate and fundamental human rights, which protest is part of it, how do you tell people to go ahead and protest? How do they fight? Because see, hunger has stifled people. There's a video I did yesterday. I'll post that video very soon. I did with Dr. Deji yesterday. How people were scrapping and fighting over broken pasta that was already joined together with 70% sand, if possible. And people were saying, thank God, oh, God has given us food. Thank God, oh, God has given us food. That is the depth of the hunger we have in Nigeria. The depth of the hunger we have in the country. So with that kind of hunger, how do you want people to react? So sometimes when you are where you are and say, oh, people are not shouting, people are not protesting, and then the other problem is that because these politicians have divided Nigerians through tongues and tribes, it's a fundamental problem. Because if somebody wants to protest and they say, oh, why will Hausa people protest? After all, when their brother Buhari was in power, they did not protest. If Yoruba people want to protest and they say, oh, Male, why would you protest when your brother is in power? And Igbo people, that one, their name is Kukuma no good in whistle. If they try to protest, hey, they'll blame the entire problem of Nigeria inside an Igbo man's head. That is an Igbo man that caused the problem of Nigeria. So, How do you want people to act? By the way, phone lines are open. I'd like to take your thoughts and reactions on this conversation. 0817-029-4077. Call on WhatsApp alone, not on direct call. If you call that number on direct call, you can't get through. So call on WhatsApp alone. So is it fair that the presidency or the court has agreed to deny an entire state its allocation, meaning that civil servants who are working legitimately cannot be paid? Or will CBN now pay civil servants directly because they want to deny forbearance of money? So civil servants cannot be paid, jobs cannot be done, things cannot. That is, the entire state will be on hold, because they are fighting one enemy, because Wike and Fobara are fighting. Nobody did that before. For people who thought that had happened, I said it before, who thought that happened to President Bola Ahmed Tinubu when he was president, and that Obasanjo did that to him, that wasn't what Obasanjo did. He, the president, created local governments without due constitutional consultation. And what they did was to stop allocation from the local government, or the local government allocations, not an entire state allocation. But again, I would have said it would have been a good way for the state to be creative and look for ways to generate IGR, because all states are blessed with natural resources. But the kind of true federalism that we practice in Nigeria does not give Nigeria or states the opportunity to access and control their own resources. So a situation where the state cannot control their resources, then what then happens to the state? Because ordinarily, Rivers people would have said, okay, no wahala now, let's control our oil and take care of it and look at how we can use it to better our people. But they cannot do that. They cannot do that. So that's a problem. How do they cope? Well, call me up. Phone lines are open, 0817-029-4077. That's the number to call, 0817-029-4077. If this is your first time joining this YouTube platform, please click on the subscription button. Kindly subscribe, put on the notification. I'd like to hear your thought and reaction. I may not be able to say this on radio when I go live on radio, so this is the only place I have, I can give you the opportunity to talk without telling you to turn off your mic, and without telling you, you don't have your facts. So it's social media. You're entitled to your opinion, as long as I'm not the one saying this on your behalf, because you may be somewhere else and I am here. I will be held responsible if you say something, if I join you to say something. But, it is your thoughts, your reaction. So you can go ahead and add your thoughts and reaction. So is it proper that the court will stop local governments, will stop the state allocation because they're fighting one man? Now, let me even look at Justice Kudirat Kekereekun. Remember that the Chief Justice of Nigeria, the new Chief Justice of Nigeria, when she took over office, she said that everybody knows her as a no-nonsense woman, somebody who does not take nonsense, and that the first thing she's going to do is to fight corruption. Remember also that Asare Dokubo did allege yesterday, in fact he said it, he didn't allege, he said yesterday that Wike must be stopped because he goes to court, he gets caught, he procures court judgments. So if these accusations by both the courts, both Wike and if this accusation by Asare Dokubo about Wike procuring judgments is anything to go by, that could it be that this is exactly what just happened in this case? Because how do you get, now the court, for instance, claims that, that it's unconstitutional, so that following constitutional, and they quoted the constitution. But has the court also followed constitution? Because there is a constitutional provision that those 27 lawmakers who have deported, let me call it deport, who have defected from the party that voted them, ceases to remain lawmakers upon moving to another political party. Why is it that the court has not looked at that matter at all? Because as we talk like this, court never even think and say, maybe even torchlight that matter we get to do with, okay, these people, do they continue to be legitimate members of the state assembly? That case is still before the court. The court has not organized hearing for that case. The court has not heard that case. The court has not done anything about that case till date. So if the court has not heard, and I'm sure that case was taken to the court even before these 27 lawmakers took the matter of passing of the budget to court. It was taking that matter for the court to decide whether or not the 27 lawmakers are legitimate lawmakers, being that they had defected from the political party that voted them into power. into office to another political party without proof that that political party is in disarray or there's division in the political party. So since there is that court case waiting for court, there hasn't been any formal hearing of that case till date. No hearing of that case. So is it fair that a Justice Kudirat Kekereekun, a revered Chief Justice of Nigeria, who promised on the day she was taking oath of office that she is here to fight corruption and to fight every yamayama that is, to change, to rebrand the image of the judiciary in Nigeria, is it fair that she presides over a court as a head of Nigerian court or judicial system, as it were, and you allow a court to give a judgment that's which they claim is constitutional by stopping state allocation to a state, thereby starving the state of fund to function? And you say it's constitutional, but your court till date has not started hearing the case to determine whether or not these lawmakers who decamped continue to remain lawmakers according to law. You know why? Because there is already an existing law, both in the Constitution and by the Supreme Court, that already handled that matter, which means that these 27 lawmakers who procured this judgment like this in court now have already, by deporting or defecting from their political party PDP to APC, they cease to remain lawmakers because they've relinquished their seats. But that case is yet to be heard. So why is Justice Kudirat Kekereekun not seeing that court judgment, case taken to court is taken care of, and the court decides on it to at least allay all fears, make everybody mind reach ground? These are the issues. 4 lines are open. Let's take your thoughts, your reactions. I'd really love to hear from you. 0817-029-4077. WhatsApp alone. Only call me on WhatsApp alone. Let me share your thoughts and reaction. Let me know what you think about this, okay? And if this is your first time of joining me, please subscribe. Click on the subscription button, put on the notification. I'll drop your comments, share to your friends. I really would love to feel your pulse because I like to see how you react. I've been in touch with a lot of people in Nigeria, in River State, and are reacting to it. There is a lot of, low morale in River State. People are downcast. People are worried. People are, are just wondering that, okay, so when will this fight end? And then another thing about this fight in River State is that it's gradually turning into an ethnic war in River State, because those from Ijaw nationality or the Izon people in River State are looking at it like, why? Nobody has ever been a Jagaban in River State. Rufus Adajudge could not be a Jagaban in River State, could not be a godfather in River State. Peter Odili could not be a godfather in River State. Amechi could not be a godfather in River State. That's Chibike Amechi. So it is Wike that can now succeed to be a godfather who, whatever he says, will stand. Even when Wike was a minister, even when Amechi was a minister under Buhari, Wike fought him to stand still. And guess what? These same Rivers people helped him to fight Amechi because they did not want Amechi to make himself, to lord himself over Wike. They helped him fight Amechi. It is now his turn. He's doing the same thing. This same Wike that was heard in several locations saying that once he's done with his administration, he will go and rest. Why would he want to have an additional interest? Why would he do anything? This is the same Wike that now wants to also continue to lord over the state according to what is happening now, according to statements by people. And nobody has really done that in River State and succeeded. So right now it's looking like a tribal or ethnic thing in River State. Let me give you the history of the new democracy in River State. From 1999, Peter Odili from Ndoni. Ndoni is like it's supposed to be like it's an upland area in River State, as it were, so River State is divided into what we call the upland and riverine areas. The riverine areas are made up of mostly Ijaw people, that the people who live around the river, and then the Ogoni people. Do you understand? The most of the upland people are mostly Igbo-speaking part of River State. Let me just put it that way. I know that my Kwere brothers will come for me for saying that Igbo-speaking part of River State. So that's where you have the Eche, the Kwere, the Omoko, the Ndoni, the Ahoda, some of those areas, they are somehow a bit upland, and that is the point. So Peter Odili from Ndoni ruled for 8 years in democracy. Handed over to an Ikwere man. Ikwere is one of the largest ethnic nationality in River State, by the way. So that's why they're seen as the landlord of River State. Perhaps a lot of people think that maybe that's why a Wike is claiming like a lord and Jagaban over River State. So handed over to an Omehia. An Omehia is from River State, from Ikwere local government area, not Obiapo. So, and of course there was an issue in court, and because of PDP internal politics in terms of the primaries, that Amechi won the case in Supreme Court that reinstated Amechi, or that put Amechi into power. And Amechi and Ikweremadu ruled for 8 years. When Amechi was done ruling for 8 years, ordinarily, power was supposed to shift either to Ogoni or to Riverine, which is to the Jaw people. Because these are part of the people who are, and guess what? Majority of the oil deposit in River State is within the Riverine community. And that's why the people of the Riverine areas in River State are worried right now about what is going on. That's me giving you an in-house gist. So now, Amechi thought to, like, the best thing to do is for me to hand over to a Riverine person. People who are, who have the large deposit of this oil that we are rich with in River State. And guess what happened? Amechi tried to bring a Dako Kopita side, who, by the way, is from the same village, from the same town with Fubara right now. But, of course, there was that back and forth in that 2015 election. Through the help of Patience Jonathan, Wike won the election in River State and became the president, the governor of River State. And Wike, again, another Ikweremadu, this time from Obiakpo local government area, did not rule first term. That is an Ikweremadu doing 16 years in River State, 8 plus 8, 16 in River State. This is the first time an Ikweremadu doing 16 years plus a Peter Odili. So it's like almost a 24 years of upland ruling in River State as governor. Because Peter Odili is upland, he's in Doni. Amechi is Ikwere local government, and Wike is Ikwere local, is Obiakpo local government. They are both brothers. So the first time an Ijaw man is to take power, you want to come and direct the Ijaw man that, oh, this is how he must rule, this is what he must do and what he must not do. And according to Fubara said he tried all he could to keep peace, to obey the law, but that the demands were getting much. He was practically being choked and stifled, and that's why he just couldn't take it anymore, and he started raising alarm. A lot of people did not know that there were rumors that Fubara almost gave up. In fact, he almost resigned 2 weeks into office. People did not know that. 2 weeks after swearing in 2023, Fubara almost resigned. In fact, he even traveled and said, I need to do again. There were lots of talk. Before that, by that time, all this talk has not come public. So it is not now that the wicked Fubara thing started. That means for somebody like Fubara, who is very soft-spoken and not barely outspoken to complain, that means he has hard dates to the teeth. And now that an Ijaw man is ruling, an Ikwere man who has ruled for 16 years, whose people have ruled for 16 years, want to dictate to an Ijaw man how to rule. Meanwhile, the Ijaw people have the largest deposit of the majority of the oil deposits in River State. Is this fair? These are the issues, and this is the bone of contention in River State. Well, I just thought to drop this thought here. I have quite a few comments here. Cynthia, I see you say T-Pen has nothing to offer Nigerians, and Toke Jones says, do you know that Wike's wife is a top judge? Yes, of course, she's an appeal court judge right now. And Toke Jones says, I won't take much to buy it. You won't take much to buy a judgment. Naturally. In fact, everyone accuses him of that. Asari Rakoba accused him of that on national television yesterday. So it's not me. And this is what Kenneth Osapita says, expecting anything different from Kekirikun, who orchestrated Imo Uzodimma magic, is pure self-delusion. Unfortunately, it is so unfortunate. But then why come out on the day that you were swearing in to say that you're incorruptible, that you're going to fight corruption in the judiciary and change the mindset of people in the judiciary and all that? Because that is clearly not happening now. Why get this kind of judgment? Well, guys, I appreciate you guys. I thank you guys. Thank you to everyone who's been part of this. Please click on the subscription button. Kindly click on share to share this video to your friends, your relatives. I love to hear your thoughts and reactions. Put them under the post. I love to share your thoughts and reaction on this. If you like to dispute anything I have said, especially about River State, you know I'm a Rivers girl. If you're from River State and you want to dispute anything I've said now concerning those who have ruled River State and all that, I'd like to hear your thoughts. Kindly just throw in your thoughts and reaction there. I love to hear from you. Let me rush quickly and go over to radio. I see you on VOP Radio. My name is Precious. Thank you for being a part of my life. I appreciate you guys. I love you. Subscribe, and have yourself an amazing evening. Thank you and goodbye.